This week's episode of Hat Atelier is pretty good and decent, but compared to last week's episode where we got Queer Free going crazy, making that golden dragon, like I still can't get over that. That was the perfect, probably the best animation sequence I've seen in all of 2026. But in this episode, Coco and our apprentice friends all just studying in their rooms. It's like a very chill episode. Coco even helps Queerfree make food, and he teaches her how to use like fire magic and like get the right proportion so she's able to cook something that's heavy and able to have it levitate in the air while it's cooking. This girl's Coco's old roommate, because they're not roommates anymore. I think so, because when they went to bed, she was in someone else's room. She's like trying to work on this light spell, basically. Later on, after Coco was done cooking everyone's food, they decided to go eat outside for a picnic. And then obviously this is where Queerfree announces that he doesn't like the rain. That's why he spent most of his early years learning how to do water magic. And obviously that dragon that was in the episode before wasn't a water magic spell. But they all go out into going to go eat food, and as it was raining, they're like, yeah, the picnic's over. But Queerfree is like, bro, we're witches, bro. We can use magic. He like has this whole circle around him that's super warm, no water's getting through. It looks like Gojo Infinity mode is on times 10. Coco decides to go back early to get her to see the sunrise, or the sunset, I mean. She meets this guy who's basically the watcher of their atelier. And what the Watcher does is basically goes into ateliers and makes sure that the head witch and their apprentices are doing the right things. And if they're not, he basically reports back to the Witches Society and tells them what that person's doing. This is where he decides to take Coco back and say, hey, we're going to let her go back and let the Inquisitors only deal with her, which they're probably going to wipe her memories because of the brim hats. So he's like, Queerfree's like, all goal is look for the brim hats. And he was like, all right, bro. Queerfree usually uses magic on the dude. Is like, bro, I will use my magic even on you if you try to take Coco away. It's something about the brim hats that he do not like. And then he decides to say, okay, whatever. But if anything else happens, he was going to tell the Witches Society, doesn't matter. Even Queerfree was like, bro, I would probably offer my own memories to be wiped if they wipe Coco's memories. He dead ass about it. Later on, Coco runs into his room because she was looking for a little fairy thing, and she notices that he's able to use these rings that have spells on them that he like evaporates all the warmth off, all the water off her body, and she gets to see the stones, which she first fell in love with magic at towards the end of the episode, and like literally like how much passion he's seen her for having for magic. It was like, bro, I can't let the Inquisitors take this passion away from her.